Have you ever found yourself in the middle of a day going through some energy or vibration that's really less than ideal? Well, I learned 4 words in the last century that allow you to reprogram the energy for your day. My Aunt Marie gave me the power with this acronym HALT, H-A-L-T, to stop, reprogram energy for the rest of our day. She would go to meetings called Al-Anon, which were support groups for family and friends of Alcoholics Anonymous attendees, and she'd come home and share with me different ways to interpret this acronym HALT. H-A-L-T stands for hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. If we can stop because our energy is not going the way we want it to go, or our day is not going the way we want it to go, and think, am I in the midst of experiencing any one of these things, or 2 or 3 or 4, you're really setting yourself up for having a horrible, horrible day, if not week or month. We can reprogram and take steps it takes to have a better day and change around our energy. Why? Self-care. So let's look at these just for a moment. H, hungry. This doesn't mean that if we're hungry, we are going to snap at the world. But there are different types of hunger. Physical hunger can make us snap at the world if we're not properly taking care of ourselves. But there's also spiritual hunger, there's sexual hunger, there's physical attraction hunger, where we just touch without orgasm or actual sex. And there's also meditation hunger, and there's also peace hunger, and there's also company hunger. There are many ways to be hungry that can set us off as triggers for having a day that's less than ideal. Being able to stop, halt, analyze, reprogram by taking steps to be less hungry. How do we feed ourselves? It's probably another lessons learned. Then, in the healthiest possible way, we can change the energy for the rest of our day. A, angry. If we're angry about something and we don't fully realize why, the email, but we're on Instagram, or we're in a meeting, or we're in a class, or we're taking someone through a movement session, or we're just at lunch with someone, a little trigger can be the proverbial camel back straw, etc. The key is to be aware of when I'm feeling angry about something, and then decide, do I want to share this? Is it justifiable? I think the Bible says there is no justifiable anger, but then there's reality. So how can I handle the fact that I might be feeling angry? That's probably the topic of another lessons learned. And then how can I take steps so that I can do positive energy outreach, projection from that anger? Instead of saying, oh no, I'm not angry, that's a denial. Yes, I'm angry, here's why, here's what I can learn from, and here's what I need to do about this anger. L, lonely. There is physical loneliness, there's sexual loneliness, and there's intimacy loneliness. When we can recognize I'm having a less than ideal day, I'm having less than ideal vibration or energy right now because really I'm feeling lonely, perhaps because I feel left out, or someone chose someone else over me, or I just feel like I'm in a crowd of hundreds of people but feeling lonely, or alone and feeling alone, then we can recognize, what can I do to improve my self-care for the rest of this day, because I am feeling, in some definition of the word, lonely. And then finally, T, physically tired or professionally tired. I am so tired because every morning, while physically I may have slept 8 to 10 hours, I'm answering the same question, and that frustrates me, which brings in anger for the same mentoree, or different mentorees asking the same question, because in the cases of 2s and 3s, if you don't know what that is, Google it. In the cases of 2s or 3s, we rarely experience something just once. So how can I be tired? Not just physically tired, and what steps can I do to take care of myself? So I set myself up for deep, restorative recovery sleep, and rest and repose, completely different ideas, but similar but related concepts, but also mentally tired. What can I do through meditation, or taking a break, or going for a walk with Biscuit, so that I can come back and look at this task? Mom taught me years ago that if I feel very frustrated with something, leave it for a moment. And when I come back, this is so correct. It's the same problem, it's the same computer, it's the same issue, it's the same cable connection, it's the same need for my wisdom to answer someone. But that going away space and coming back reprograms my tiredness, if you will, and all of a sudden it's miraculous. I think it's just amazing how as children we might think our parents don't know so much, and then we get older and we're like, wow, they've learned so much. They're always right. We just realize it later. So take a step away to reprogram and not be so tired when things aren't going so well. So I invite you to remember this acronym, HALT, H-A-L-T. How can we take steps to recognize if we are in many different connotations and denotations of the words hungry, angry, lonely, and tired, to set ourselves up more for success? With love in my heart and a firm commitment to spread wellness without walls, I'm Lawrence, thanking you for allowing me to express my lessons learned thus far. And I conclude this post by asking, can you remember HALT so that periodically, perhaps in your afternoons, you just do a check-in and ask yourself, am I perhaps hungry, angry, lonely, or tired?